We begin with the escalating security crisis between Russia and Ukraine.
High-level meetings are taking place today in Washington and Moscow in an attempt to prevent a Russian invasion of the country. President Biden is meeting with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz for the first time since Scholz took office in December. The leaders are expected to talk about their opposition to Russian aggression. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron is meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow. Mr. Macron hopes to help Russia and Ukraine find a diplomatic solution in the days ahead. Mr. Macron will travel to Kyiv to speak with Russian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Tuesday. But here's the big picture. In new satellite images of Russian troops, they are causing worry in the country of Ukraine. They're now 30 miles from the border in some places, and it's troubling people there.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, hundreds of elite American airborne troops have arrived in Poland to protect that country. American intelligence suggests an invasion could be imminent. CBS News foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tyab is in Ukraine with more on the conflict.
Real guns, real bullets for a possible war with a very real adversary. This group of civilians are being trained to use automatic weapons.
Whether Russia invades or not is anyone's guess, but those who come here for training are preparing for the worst.
Instructing these urban fighters in the making are military veterans who've spent years fighting pro-Russian separatists in Ukraine's east, including this sergeant who goes by the name Alex.
It must be terrifying, though, to have so many Russian forces, so much Russian weaponry right on your doorstep.
It's not too terrifying for us because we fight already 8 years, war every day from 2014.
U.S. intelligence officials warned that a Russian invasion could kill up to 100,000 civilians. But many Ukrainians still remain unconvinced Vladimir Putin will attack. On newscasts across Ukraine, there's barely a mention of the tensions. Instead, the top stories are a supermarket scandal and Ukraine's Fashion Week. Pavlo Klimklin is a former Ukrainian foreign minister.
I don't believe in big invasion right now. It's actually not in the interest of Putin. What Putin needs now is to raise the stakes, to ratchet up pressure.
Now, that pressure has led to a flurry of international diplomacy. You have the French president meeting with Vladimir Putin in Moscow today, and Germany's chancellor sitting down with President Biden at the White House as world leaders try to end this conflict without bloodshed. Tanya, Tony.
Imtiaz Tyab in Ukraine. Thank you so much. Joining us now from the Pentagon is CBS News national security correspondent David Martin. David, great to see you. Let's start with these security meetings. How is Mr. Macron expected to sway Russia from conflict when he continues to move troops closer to Ukraine's border? And is it expected to go any differently than previous talks with Russia and other NATO allies?
Well, I don't think there's an argument that can convince Putin that this is not a good idea. There is an argument that says the consequences are going to be worse than you think, and in the end, you're going to be worse off than if you invade than if you hadn't invaded. And those, of course, the consequences are the economic consequences. Putin is betting that the U.S., for all its tough talk on economic sanctions, will not be able to bring along the Europeans who would have to suffer some of the economic consequences of those sanctions as well. And then there are the pending troop deployments, all the troops that have been put on alert to be part of this NATO response force. And there the argument to Putin is, you say you don't like NATO forces on your doorstep. Well, if you invade Ukraine, it's only going to get worse. Whether or not this has any effect on Putin is anybody's guess, because it's just as easy to look at these events and say he is simply running out the string, waiting until he has all his combat forces in place, waiting for the ground to hit a hard freeze, and waiting for the Beijing Olympics to end so that he doesn't rain on the parade of his buddy President Xi.
Yeah, which could mean an invasion is mere weeks away. David, let's talk about an event going on in this country. President Biden and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz will meet today at the White House. Germany, to this point, has been seen by some to be an unreliable partner. They've been slow to outline consequences for Russia if it invades Ukraine, and hesitant to send deadly weapons to Ukraine. I believe they send helmets. What do we expect to come out of this meeting?
Well, I think the main thing up for grabs is this Nord Stream project, which is this huge multi-billion-dollar project that has been in the works for years, laying a natural gas pipeline from Russia into Germany. The pipeline is complete. It has not yet been certified to begin operations. The U.S. has said that if Russia invades Ukraine, there is no way gas will flow through that pipeline. But not having gas flow through that pipeline has tremendous economic consequences for Germany, just in terms of the cold of winter and also the price of energy. So Germany is reluctant to sign on to what for them is a nuclear option.
David Martin at the Pentagon, thank you so much.